Well, as the saying goes, be careful what you wish for because you just might get it. And for all of you all who have been praying and wishing for me to start giving my opinion via video, your wish is about to be granted. For the rest of y'all, you're about to get your feelings hurt. I'm not going to issue a disclaimer or anything like that because I don't care whose feelings get hurt, and I'm addressing everybody across the board. You can delete me from Facebook, you can delete me from your life. I'm going to say what I have to say, and if you like it, congratulations, and if you don't, oh well. I am absolutely baffled at all of the craziness that I have been seeing up and down my timeline, dating all the way back for a couple of years, but more recently here with this whole Beyonce and Formation and the Super Bowl and the song and the video. Really? Anybody who does not understand the message that she was trying to display, wake up and smell the coffee and get your head from up your ass. Everybody knows I'm the blackest person you'll ever meet, but I'm also a black person who understands the importance of the message that needs to be delivered. I've said a million times, y'all know I love my fellow Jewish folks, shalom. My Italians, my Irish, because white Jews have been the one who have given my family opportunity and opened the doors. So we've had these conversations before about black issues and race and black and white, and y'all know I'm the last person to use color because I don't see that. But for anybody who does not understand the meaning behind Black Lives Matter and think it's just a hashtag, do I need to refresh the memory of you five-towners about Jermaine Ewell? He was one of our own, right there from Lawrence. And them white boys in Atlantic Beach almost killed him. Jermaine was an all-star athlete. He was not a troubled kid. He was not into drugs, gangs, nothing. And because of the color of his skin, he almost lost his life. So for all of you teachers from Lawrence, advisors, administrators, and coaches that I see up and down my timeline calling Kendrick Lamar awful, posting things like if you don't want to be gunned down, obey the law, and something about Beyonce, if you're anti-cop, remember that when you need security and your drug dealing husband. Lawrence Public School District is now predominantly urban. I wonder if the parents of these students know if this is how y'all feel because y'all are the ones educating these urban children. I know what it's like to be the only black child in the class. I know what it's like to be the only black cheerleader. I know what it's like to be the only black at the slumber party. Hell, I'm still the only black when we go to certain weddings. Lawrence is not what it was when I was there because you could count us when we were there. Is that how y'all really feel? And some of y'all, we go all the way back to the sandbox. And spare me the bullshit about, oh, well, it's them, it's not you, and you all are the exception. Don't adjust the color, because I'm black. I was born black, and I'm going to die black. Regardless of anybody in my family that don't look like me and this hair that y'all are so favorable over, I'm still black. And when you say things like, if you don't want to be gunned down, obey the law, Michael Brown was obeying the law when he had his hands up. Eric Garner had his hands up, and them cops was hanging off of him like the Gremlins was hanging off of Santa Claus in the movie. If that had been Jeremy or Joshua, his people would have dismantled the entire police force. Don't act like you don't understand the purpose behind it. You might not be able to relate, but don't be ignorant and say you don't understand, or it's just a hashtag, or she's race baiting, or she's anti-cop. Nope, because I'm pro-black everything. And I'm also pro-cop, and y'all know I'm pro-white damn near everything. But being pro-black doesn't mean anti-white. Being pro-black does not mean anti-cop. Because you got a lot of corruption going from one end of the fence. And for those of y'all who are always like, oh, but there's black on black crime, and stop. We got a lot of issues in the black community, and I've addressed those in the past as well. But our issues in our community don't give anybody a right to still profile, gun down, kill, and profile, harm, kill our kids. White mothers don't worry when their kids leave home going to school, especially mothers of boys. Black mothers have to worry. And any one of you who is not outraged over Trayvon Martin, wow. So you mean to tell me that I can't walk down the street in a hoodie without somebody feeling like I got a hoodie on, so I'm a threat? You could put a white boy in a Range Rover and send him down I-95. He won't get pulled over one time. Unless he got a busted tail light. You can't put a black boy in the back of Hewlett in an Infiniti. Oh, they're going to call the cops. I was educated at Howard University, the #1 HBCU, and all thing a black educational elite. And I sat in class with people who came from two-parent households, from super affluent communities, doctors, lawyers, architects, engineers, businessmen and women, and even politicians' children. Everybody black is not involved in something illegal. Everybody black is not on welfare or living in the projects. Ain't no Uzis made in Harlem. Where you think the drugs and the guns and all of that is coming from? We aren't bringing them here. Yeah, we might be the recipient of them and we're allowing it to destroy our community by taking part in it, but it does not excuse the reality of what happens. Amadou Diallo, them cops fired at that boy 41 times like he was standing there with a machine gun. Really? You don't get the purpose behind Tamir Rice? Sandra Bland? Yusef Hawkins was shotgun blasted in his chest by white boys in Howard Beach. And you all don't understand why me, growing up around Italians, don't feel safe in Howard Beach. What? I don't understand. And I don't understand what you don't understand. This Tomi Lahren, whatever this child's name is from Fox 5 News, if you have any doubt about white privilege and white elitism, she is a product of that. Because for her to feel like the Black Panthers is a hate group or a terrorist group when she's excusing certain things from the KKK, really? The Black Panthers never killed anybody because of the color of their skin. They wasn't burning crosses on people's lawn. The KKK, which are police officers and judges and lawyers and teachers, politicians, hence the sheets, hidden, are still lynching people and killing people and doing everything based off of the color of a person's skin. Really? Really? Things like NAACP and NCNW and Black Panthers had to be formed because white folks had things like Jim Crow and segregation in place. Black people born in this country couldn't go and vote. The place of your birth, you couldn't vote. You couldn't get on a bus and ride where you wanted to ride because you're inferior because of the color of your skin. My mother was born and raised in Mississippi. My father was born and raised in South Carolina. In 2016, they're still lynching people down there. And you don't get the purpose behind Black Lives Matter. I'm not expecting you to be able to relate, but having an idea, feeling like, oh, I don't understand, or it doesn't exist, or, it's race baiting, and Beyonce, she's the fall person. Everything was fine while she was doing Single Ladies, huh? Everything was fine until she opened her mouth and really finally said something that should have been said. And it was you, my fellow white friends, darling, who always said to me, Monshelle, you got to be careful because you can't approach everybody the same way you approach us. Or when white folks feel like a black person has gotten out of line, they feel like it's their right to put them in their place. And y'all still don't get the purpose of Black Lives Matter? You really don't see where white privilege comes into play. We got a black president, and this man has been called everything from a nigger to a monkey, and everybody don't understand it. I'm not going to say every time the cops have unloaded that they've been wrong, and I've said that in post. Nor am I going to stand with them when they are wrong. There is a way that you handle all situations, but to sit back here and make it seem like Beyonce or anybody black who is pro anything for their people is anti something else, stop. Stop. And I'm specifically talking to people that I've grown up with, that I see up and down my timeline, and I'm grateful because a lot of you white folks that we all grew up with, you all have businesses, and we blacks patronize your business. Be mindful of what you say. You want to support Donald Trump? Go right ahead. You think there are too many Hispanics here? Go right ahead. But for you Italians, you Irish, you West Indians, we blacks, we all got somebody in our family that's here that's undocumented. If he gets elected, do you think it's going to stop with Muslims and Hispanics? Nope. He going right down the food chain. Think about what you say and think about what you do. You got a right to say, you know what? I don't care how many black folks they kill. It ain't my son and it don't matter to me, and go right ahead. That's fine. But to not acknowledge the reality of what's happening in staggering numbers is absurd. And it's an insult. I'm not expecting you to relate. I'm not expecting you to understand. But you need to acknowledge the reality of what's going on. And for those of you who want to divide things up into black and white, have you never heard of Freedom Riders? Do you think that everybody that was a Freedom Rider was black? Have you never heard of the March on Washington? In those days, you think they would have given a black man that kind of power to assimilate? He had white folks by his side. All I'm saying is expand your mind. And if you don't understand and you can't relate, ask. But all of this stuff up and down my timeline that's really racially charged and, if Beyonce and them are against cops and don't use them for your security and all these different things, and you Lawrence Public Schools administrators and people that I come from the sandbox with, I'm primarily addressing y'all. Understand that what goes around comes around. And I get it that you don't understand it, but everything and everybody is capable of something. So don't disregard somebody else's life because you want to address something that has nothing to do with the reality of what we have to face every day. I welcome your comments. I welcome your opinions, and I look forward to hearing from them. Thank you.